Shubhan and Gunnar in the house, back with another bang on video. Well, ladies and gentlemen, unbelievable news for you guys. Arsenal lost against Brighton. It was a 2-1 loss, and it was an unbelievable performance from Brighton. Everyone is talking about Neil Maupay, how exactly he did whatever he did. I don't think so. There was any malice in whatever he did. And the way things happened, it's just that Leno had an awkward landing. But I think there has been a lot of refereeing problems, especially with Bissouma. He did a lot of fouls, probably 5, 6, or probably 7, but he was not even given a yellow card. So I think there has been a lot of leniency in terms of the game, the way it went, and I think Arsenal should have taken their chances. Their keeper was really good, Brighton's. It was really nice all over. I think it was a good contest, and in terms of where I think totally it has been deserved for Brighton. But moving on. Arsenal from England is preparing an offer for Thiago Almada in the next few days. Piratas Media announced that Arsenal could make a great offer for the Jewel. The versatile winger or attacking midfielder has a contract until 2023, but a release clause of 22 million euros. This clause will increase from August 31st, becoming 25 million euros. So if anyone wants to sign him, go and get him. Moving on. Atletico Madrid are bracing themselves for Thomas Partey's departure in the coming weeks, and it's pretty much clear that Arsenal are wanting the midfielder more than ever now, because the protection in front of the defense is definitely wanted. Arsenal's lower tier stands inside the Emirates Stadium full with banners showcasing their unique heritage and club colours, while also showing gratitude and support for the NHS and the Black Lives Matter movement. Well, one eager Arsenal fan greeting the Arsenal team bus as they made their way to Brighton's Amex Stadium earlier this afternoon. And not only this, let's move on. Arsenal were unbeaten in the last 23 Saturday 3 p.m. kickoffs in the Premier League, a run stretching back to November 2015. So we lost a very precise and important amount of record. Well, not only this, Arsenal and Roma are locked in negotiations for Henrik Mkhitaryan. Roma CEO Guido Fienga asking for at least 10 to 15 million euros plus Mkhitaryan for Justin Kluivert. Arsenal want a straight swap. Roma very keen to keep Henrik Mkhitaryan. Well, Gunnosaurus is waiting for 3 p.m. because he cannot enter the stadium, but he wants to be apart from home itself. Well, moving on. Mesut Ozil remains hopeful that he can see out the final year of his contract at Arsenal, but the club are looking to sell the midfielder anyways. With the German on a reported leave, we know how much amount of wages he earns. Arsenal are looking to reduce their expenditure following the financial impacts of the coronavirus pandemic. Ozil was not included in Arsenal's squad as they resumed their Premier League campaign with a 3-0 loss against Manchester City. He has been named on the bench as Arsenal face Brighton this afternoon, however. Well, North London battle for Ferguson. London rivals Tottenham and Arsenal are both interested in signing West Brom defender Nathan Ferguson. 19-year-old is out of contract at the end of the season and attracted an abundance of interest after the first half of the season in the Championship. The defender was reportedly set to sign for Crystal Palace in an 11 million deal in January, but a deal fell through after a surgery requiring knee issue was discovered in the medical, and that is the biggest reason why they did not sign him. Well, moving on. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang looked disinterested against Manchester City, says Tony Cascarino, who insists Danny Ings would be a better choice for Arsenal. Ings scored his 16th Premier League goal of the season as Southampton beat Norwich 3-0 on Saturday. He says, when you look at Aubameyang's numbers, they're extraordinary. But when you compare him to a player like Roberto Firmino for Liverpool, hasn't got the goals, say the likes of Luis Suarez and Fernando Torres did, but he does far more for the team. This year he's got one more Premier League goal than Danny Ings, but Ings has given a lot more to Southampton, as we saw last night against Norwich. His commitment to the team, he has a desire that drives the other players around him and makes them a better side. That's one of the problems I see for Arteta. With players like Aubameyang, he would choose, and Ozil. So if I had a choice, I'd take Ings over Aubameyang. So let me know in the comment section if you'd like Danny Ings, a figure like Danny Ings, over Aubameyang at Arsenal. Well, after 25 minutes, no action, but Nicola Pepe did appear to be hurt by a challenge early on after an ongoing battle with Dan Burn. But not only this, Arsenal fear Pablo Mari will miss the remainder of the season with a significant ankle injury. Mikel Arteta insists that the decision on whether to sign the defender on a permanent deal will not be affected by the setback. Well, talking about it, the 26-year-old who actually moved to the Emirates on loan in January, Arteta said, yes, this cannot be affected just because a player gets injured doing his job and defending our club. And speaking about Mari's injury, Arteta said, it is not looking good with Pablo. It looks like a really nasty injury. The doctors were assessing him today, and hopefully tomorrow we will have a better update. But the first assessment wasn't particularly positive. And Arsenal had issued an update on their recent and ongoing injuries. That Callum Chambers' left knee ruptured and anterior cruciate ligament on his left knee against Chelsea. Rehabilitation post-surgical repair continuing and currently progressing well with running and gym work. Will not be available for proposed schedule of remaining 2019-2020 matches. So you'll see Callum Chambers probably in the next season for Arsenal. And Pablo Mari, left ankle injury sustained during Manchester City on Wednesday. This is a significant injury which is currently undergoing further specialist assessment. And Cedric Soares, it was a facial injury. Successful procedure has taken place further to nasal fracture sustained in training, aiming to return to full training the next 2 weeks. Socrates, mild strain to right thigh, aiming to return to full training the next 2 weeks. Lucas Torreira, right ankle, sustained fracture to right ankle during Portsmouth, progressing well and aiming to return to full training the next 2 to 3 weeks. Granit Xhaka, right ankle, sustained sprained ankle during Manchester City on Wednesday, aiming to return to training in the next 2 weeks. Martin Keown thinks Arsenal should move on from David Luiz and start focusing on players who will be the future of the club. He says it is about whether players are good enough to be part of the future at the football club. Is David Luiz good enough? I would never have signed him in the first place. But he's there and Arteta has to make the most of it. He's not blessed with too many options. It is worrying that Arteta is really backing a player that probably isn't good enough. I don't want to humiliate him further. We all have bad performances, but it is one after another. He keeps making schoolboy mistakes. They should be investing time in players that they believe in for the future, and not one now who is past his best. I do not believe in David Luiz is the answer for the future. He came out of a Chelsea dressing room where young Frank Lampard saw him as a problem and was laying down the law. Arsenal brought a problem to their doorstep when they were already recovering from difficult decisions they had made in the past with Alexis Sanchez and Mesut Ozil. I think this is a clean break and start again. Rio Ferdinand has spoken about Leno's injury. He says you can't blame Mopay for that. It's a contact sport. He didn't use any excessive force. And Bernardo's knee injury he suffered in the first half against Brighton doesn't look good at all. And Arsenal just tweeted, "Get well soon, Bern," because they know it's a very pathetic kind of an injury. Because Bernardo letting his thoughts known to Neil Maupay as he left the pitch following a challenge from the Brighton striker, which forced the goalkeeper off with an injury. Alex Lacazette and Nicolas Pepe both occupying high positions towards the wing in the first half for Arsenal. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang dropping deep. And also, talking about it, the possession, Brighton at 57% possession in the first half compared to Arsenal's 43. Goal attempts 2 off target, 1 on target. Arsenal 4 off target, 1 on target. Corners 5 for Brighton, 2 to Arsenal. Fouls 5 for Brighton and 6 for Arsenal. And probably Alan Pike has opened up about it. He says, insane to deem that acceptable conduct. The fact that strikers do it all the time and go unpunished doesn't make it okay to toss an elbow into the ribs of a mid-air keeper. Maupay has no chance of playing that ball. And without his nudge, Leno's landing under his own control. Why are cards never given for these? They are dangerous, dirty plays. The outcome here points that up. I didn't say it was acceptable. I said it was typical. I wasn't suggesting that Maupay should be knighted for services to Snidery. Well, moving on. Well, there can't be much argument. James Benge actually tweeted this. There can't be much argument that Maupay was seriously competing for possession. Frankly, if he's looking to pounce on a mistake, he's better off giving himself some space from Leno. Let him make a mistake and then step in. That did not happen, yeah? But talking about it, Mikel Arteta spoke about Ainsley Maitland-Niles' commitment and attitude. He said he's been much better. We discussed that during the lockdown and he has changed a lot of things, a lot of positive things. He's a really honest kid. Graham Potter has won all of his last 3 games against Arsenal across all competitions by 2-1. Yes, Potter works his magic again. Neil Maupay has scored 9 Premier League goals this season, 3 times more than any other Brighton player on the squad. And Neil Maupay's goals puts Arsenal's goal difference down to 0, and it means that they could drop out of the top 10 today just because of goal difference. And Maupay has spoken about what happened during the Leno's injury. He says, at halftime I went to Mikel Arteta to apologise. I never meant to injure the keeper. I jumped to get the ball. I went to apologise to Mikel Arteta at the halftime. I never meant to hurt him. Some of the Arsenal players need to learn humility. They got what they deserved. That's what he said. Those were his words. But moving on. Well, it's been 25 years since Arsenal last finished the season outside the top 6. Brace yourselves. 2020 is what you did not want to see as an Arsenal fan. Well, Mikel Arteta has opened up about the post-match. He says, we did more than enough to win this game and we threw it again. I don't want to use excuses. When I'm talking about competing, there are details when you go ahead and game management, and that's something we have to improve. I don't want to use excuses at this level. You can't do it. I think it's all our fault. It's about how you compete in a Premier League match. It's for 200 minutes, and for every ball and every action, it's not the first time that it's happened. It's something that's a must, and it is non-negotiable. And this is how Leno probably looks like Leno leaving the Amex Stadium, and that is not good. That definitely is not good. If he's walking on crutches, you need to understand that it's a really serious injury, and the player is definitely out for months now. It's not even this season. It's probably hampering some good amount of next season as well. Well, for the news of the day, I hope you enjoyed whatever came your way. All the views and news and everything about Arsenal comes to this platform every single day, twice. Even though Arsenal are losing, you'll get all the news and views what you've been expecting from an Arsenal point of view on this platform. Stay connected and make sure you subscribe. We're on a mission of reaching 5,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Help us reach there. That's our mission. I will see you in my next video. Until then, cheers, and don't forget to subscribe.